to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me with...
Good evening. Hope everyone is well. Welcome to the Armoury. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to Arsenal News, the Tuesday edition. There is a poll in the chat today. Going to be interesting to get your thoughts after the Raya signing, which we'll get onto very shortly. What position would you strengthen next? It's very important that you get involved in that because I would really love to know your opinions on it because we haven't finished yet. That's for certain after David Raya. Big up to Tony Forbrook, evening to all my fellow Gooners and others. Big up to you, Tony, as well. And big up to everyone that is listening in. And yeah, hope we have a very good day wherever you are in the world. Hopefully we'll be joined by Canners shortly. But you know me, I like to run on time. I don't like to be late for anything. Right, let's move on to the first talking point. Obviously, announced about an hour and a half ago, I'd say now. David Raya will be signed by the weekend. Obviously, has been announced that it is a here we go. Medical will be finalised this week. For us to get Raya in, he has to be registered by Thursday midday. So we need to kind of get a move on, if we're perfectly honest. I believe the fee to be 26 million plus 4 million add-ons. That's what I think it is. It's going to be around that because we had an offer of 23 and 4 million add-ons turned down the last one. So I reckon this one is 26 plus 4. Which comes to 30 million for a player that's got a market value of 28.5 million. I think it's a very good deal. Well done to Richard and Edu for getting this one over the line. It wasn't too tricky due to the fact David Raya did say to Brentford, sell me or I'll just stay and get nothing for me. So yeah, absolute madness. Evening to Luke. Hope you're doing well. And evening to Bargav. Hope you're doing well too. So yeah, that's a David Raya deal. Should be absolutely sorted by the weekend, if I'm honest. A good price, Bobby. 100%. I'm happy with this one. You know how I am about prices. I think this is a very good price. We haven't overpaid. We haven't shortchanged them, let's say. So for me, I'm happy. And I've just been joined by the wonderful, the beautiful Canners. Hello, Canners.
1,000 apologies, mate. I had problems with my laptop. But yeah, I'm here. How you doing, Bobby? How everyone in the chat, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. But as I was saying, I think this deal is like 26 plus 4 million in add-ons, which will come to the 30 million. I think that's a good deal. 28.5 million is his market value. I think it's perfect, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
What about you, Canners?
absolutely. Look, I love this. This is something which will provide competition, and what Arteta wants, as we all know, is competition for every place. No
Yeah.
one resting on their laurels for a first team place, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Again, the drop offs for the cup games. As we've seen with Man City's keeper, he's a very very good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And the way he plays, the man's is it Ortega, the way he plays
Yeah.
with his feet.
Yeah.
It there's hardly any drop off really between him and Edison. To be fair, and that's what we want with the same with Ramsdown and Raya, and I think it's a great shrewd bit of business. I think it's great.
It is.
Nothing
It's great.
more, nothing further to say on that. I'm just happy.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
like I said, I think we have to get him registered for the Saturday game. We need to get him registered by midday on Thursday, so we need to get a move on if we want to quickly sort this out. Because I definitely don't want Runnison in on the bench. If I'm honest, that just fills me with absolute terror. So yeah, I kind of want it done quickly. I to be honest, I think because obviously he's based in Brentford as well, it's not going to take long to get him to get a medical. Goalkeeper medicals are very different to wingers and strikers. It's a bit more simple than it is for other players, if I'm honest. So I don't think we're going to be too problematic on that. I just want to get into some of the comments. How much in the bank now can we afford Kudos? We do need to sell more.
I heard is there talk about Brighton with Kudos?
See, I love this. Right. This is why I get really fed up with certain people that post on Twitter. Because, yes, Brighton have agreed a deal with Ajax, but there's a third party involved in this, and it's called the player.
Yeah.
If the player doesn't want to go...
Quite important.
Yeah, kind of important. This is why I kind of get fed up with some of these here you goes, because, yes, a deal can be made between two teams. Absolutely fine. But if Kudu has zero wish to go to Brighton, he's not going to go because he wants Champions League football, and rightly so. Because what are Brighton in? The Europa next season? Is that right? Are they in Europa or Europa Conference? Can't remember. They're in one of them, aren't they? But yeah, like Kudu wants Champions League, so I think if it's the last result, he'll probably go. But then why would he not also just stay at Ajax?
It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
how that one plays out.
I know that Luke doesn't want to risk, so obviously I think this is regarding selling Turner, which we'll get onto in a minute, and having Runnison or Hine. To be fair, I have no major issues with Hine. I do have an issue with Runnison, if I'm honest. Runnison needs to go to Poundland or something just to go and get a job.
Is a mistake walking, isn't he? Flipping egg.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. We've got to be very careful because everyone said, yes, Anaki was a big fan of David Raya, wanted him, but he also was the person that wanted Runnison. Our goalkeeping coach was the one that wanted Runnison. Just so putting that out there, but Raya is a good goalkeeper, so I have no issues with that. But Runnison, Anaki definitely got that wrong there. Yes, Chelsea have got some issues. I'm not going to get into it today. Let's see what happens. But the Premier League are looking into a lot of stuff at Chelsea, and they probably will get punished as well. Yeah, well, this is not like under Todd Bowley. This is under the other dude, which I'm definitely not going to mention on this stream. Tony saying, "Evening to you."
Evening, Mr. Fulbrook.
Just over 3 weeks to go until Canners is safe from having to stream topless.
I think I'm safe. I really do. I can. Don't.
There is a talking point which we'll get onto, which may put a little bit of fear back into Canners, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
Really, only 10 million and going to play us Saturday. What we thinking? Delay it? No, we wouldn't delay it just for that because we're not petty like that. We're not Tottenham. We'll because at the end of the day, Matt is going for a fairly decent price. I think Matt will be announced before Raya is. That's what I think anyway. I'll go saying
That's the Arsenal way, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Raya equals FA Cups and Carabao Cup. Well, he's coming in to challenge. So I think if Ramsdale has a bad game, Raya will be in for the next game. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't. He might be the Champions League goalkeeper. You don't know.
That would. I think the bread and butter really is the league and the Champions League, isn't it? And then obviously, I think one of the things that he's probably has been promised, no matter what, I guess, is the FA Cup and the cup, the Carabao Cup. Obviously, then it comes into play in terms of if he proves, that he should be number one, then I guess the roles will get reversed.
Yeah. Exactly. Has Hein been? No, Hein has not been loaned out. As you know, Moss, I do a weekly Premier League transfer update. No one has been loaned out goalkeeper-wise, apart from Grakshik, who's gone to Slough. But no, not Hein yet. I'd rather have 11 outfield players than have Runnison in goal. I'd rather have Chris Kawambia back at the club than have Runnison in goal.
No, guys, that is saying something. If we want Chris Kawambia back, flipping out, Runnison's bad.
Can we hijack Kudu as he waiting for us in case we can do it? I don't rule it out just because certain people on Twitter, I was very nice by putting people there. Certain people have tweeted that a deal has been agreed with Brighton means absolutely nothing because I know Kudu wants to play for Champions League football. That's not what Brighton's got. So look, if we can get rid of Balogun, we can get rid of some other players that we're going to be talking about shortly, then yeah, we've got the money. Because right now we're break even. We're spot on exactly what we've got. Now we need to sell a few more players to buy some more.
Here's a question, right? You got the likes of like McTominay and Maguire going for about 30 or 40 million, right? And I personally, see Balogun going for 40 million is absolutely ridiculous. Do you think, right, if Balogun was Brazilian, French, German, or from one of those countries, he would be going for a lot more, or even English?
If he was English, it'd be like 70 million, easy.
But even if he was French or German, or he comes from, if he was like, I think there's this kind of US thing that I don't know. It just seems like it's just not cool.
It is. It's a big part.
How can this dude who's going to United go for 72 million?
Yeah,
and he's done nothing.
Yeah, I know.
On the level of Balogun.
I know he scored a lot less than what Balogun did last season. He looks okay. I can't say I'm excited by the signing for Man U, but the United fans are happy, and that's fine with me. But I think it is a huge part of the market value is what country they play for, which I find very, very wrong, if I'm honest. Because yes, the Americans didn't do very well in the World Cup, same as Canadians. And I'm not picking you out, Moss, because I know you'll probably come for me for saying that. But it does affect the market value for what country you play from. I find that wrong. I think it should be just down to player ability and what they've achieved. And yes,
I actually think there is some kind of bias there, because there's no way for the money that players like McTominay and Maguire and even look, nothing against Højlund, the Danish kid or whatever, but Balogun's been as I said, if he was French, German, Italian even, he would be going for a lot more than 40 million.
Yeah, 100%. His market value is about 28 million. I think that's his market value. So for us asking for like 40 plus is what's exactly what we should be doing. However, if he was English, I guarantee he'd be. He's actually the same market value as Eddie. And obviously Eddie hasn't. No offense, Gumza, or anyone that likes Eddie, he hasn't done much. But Balogun had a cracking season last season, and he's still pretty much worth the same as Eddie is. And he's younger.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it's mad. So Tavares, Patino, Sambi, money not worth anything. We will get some money for Tavares. We'll get some money for Patino if he does definitely leave, but we'll wait and see on that one now. Sambi, he is going to be alone with an obligation to buy from Burnley, but they are taking forever. I don't know what's going on with Burnley, but it is what it is. Player and agent are sometimes important. Yeah, they are. They are kind of important, and they don't mention it on Twitter. They just say the teams have agreed. Oh, great. It means nothing. Goalkeepers and medicals, 2 hands, 2 legs, and a pair of gloves. Tony pretty much is. I remember when Aaron had his, he broke his finger, so they had to chat about that, and that was about it. But it's been done with a couple of hours, if I'm honest. Sambi done yet? Not yet. Like I just said, Burnley forever. I think he's holding out for Arsenal. Wouldn't surprise me. BX Gunnar, big up to you. Let's go for Rafinha. We'll get onto the Barcelona stuff in a minute as well. Hey, I met at Gunners Pub last year. The Iceland Gooners, Runnelson's bros and friends. They're proud of him in Arsenal. Of course, they're proud of him. He's managed to achieve an amazing move when he's rubbish. So yeah, big up to Runnelson. Absolutely fooled everybody because he's absolutely sucks. I'm not going to hold back.
There, didn't he? He pulled a rabbit.
Too many rumours. No, not as you're of yet, but there will be some chat about Real Madrid tonight. When Turner stands on head, then we will regret it. No, we won't regret it because he doesn't play the way that Arsenal want to play. He is a good goalkeeper. I've always said that. I've said that on every single stream about him. Great goalkeeper. Just cannot play with his feet how we need him to play. Rami has earned it. Yes, he does. Big up to Guna Greg. Sorry, guys. We'll have to catch up later. Enjoying Spurs fans watch along far too much. Enjoy. Please enjoy them. Yes. Get off the kudu hype, says Tony. Instead of Runnelson, see if Seaman still has his gloves. I would, to be fair. Twitter ain't a source. It's all about Freds now. 100% Margo. Thank you very much. 2 minutes in Lewandowski. 1-0. Oh, is that okay? Oh, they're losing already. Wow.
Lewandowski 1, Spurs 0.
Oh, never mind. I can agree. Canners Balogun is talented. 100% he's talented. Balogun is technically homegrown English, American. Yeah, but he's got a bit of an attitude which hasn't helped his situation at all. Sky Sports can't market him for their agendas. Yeah, we're going to different people. We really need a striker, says Ampere Frank Badro. Yes, there is a poll in the chat tonight, as I did say before. After Raya, who would you want? Defender, midfielder, winger, or striker? Please get your votes in, and I'll talk about it at the end of the show. Kudu, Mohammed, we need attitude and American. Never heard of this. I'm related to enough Americans. I can definitely tell they got plenty of attitude. I can say that because I'm related to
they're the most humble guys ever. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. All right, let's try and move on because we're going to try and wrap this up within an hour today because Canners needs to go at 8. So I'm going to try and wrap this up as quick as we can tonight. Right. Matt Turner. Not great, but 7 million with add-ons will do, I suppose, because that's how I feel. You know, it's not the greatest selling again. But again, what you said about Balogun, he's American. Yeah. You know, it could be, unfortunately have an effect. And the weird thing is with Nottingham Forest, he's not the only goalkeeper they're signing. There's links with Kasper Schmeichel coming back. There's also links with Henderson. So they're going for 2 goalkeepers. It's not just the one, which I was a bit surprised by myself. But yeah, they're going for 2 goalkeepers. 7 million going on to 10. What do you think of that for Matt, considering we paid 5.5 with 2 million add-ons?
I'm trying to think of a game where I've kind of said, this guy is great, blah, blah, blah. I know he's decent, but I think really and truly what we're going to be getting with Raya, I think, move him on, get some money. Yeah, look, as I said before on other streams, you don't go broke on a profit. Could we have got more? Possibly, yes. But I think this is at a point now where, you know, he has to get moved on if we want to move on with Raya. I think, you know, everyone's a winner really in this deal. We've got some money for him. Not for us to got a decent player, and it frees up a space for us, you know, in order to get Raya. So
Yeah, BX saying here the American exodus is almost complete. It nearly is. It's nearly done. Yeah, we've obviously got an issue with Americans, even though we're owned by Americans. But but no, honestly, it's the trusty one. I think we all knew what that was, and
Oh,
it has been proven.
that was diabolical.
I still think that's a stupid amount of money that we've accepted, but move on. He's gone. Balogun, if he didn't have the attitude, I think he could have done something for us.
Yeah,
but he hasn't. Turner, again, good goalkeeper, just doesn't suit our style of play. And we said this about Leno, and we moved him on. Leno's still a good goalkeeper for Fulham. He just doesn't suit with the ball playing out the back. Need a red and white striker. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll all be red and white because that's what we wear. But yeah, I'm going to guess what he's going on with there. And will we get a striker? I'm not convinced we will, if I'm honest now. I think it will be a winger that has the ability to play at number 9. What were you going to say there, Cannon? Sorry, mate.
I was just going to say that I'm trying to wrap my brains of a forward that would be available. I think there's a shortage of decent forwards really that we could actually that would suit the way we play or does what Jesus does or similar. That would be available. It's really, really a tough one. I don't know. You maybe have to pluck someone from Brazil or something like that and get them trained up or whatever. But I'm trying to think around the world, really and truly. It's like who really is available, really. That we can get for a decent price because we ain't got that much money now to play with, really, in my opinion. So it's a tough one, unless Mbappe next year.
Well, we'll get on to him in a minute. Unfortunately, there is going to be a little bit of a chat by him. I haven't put it as like the big headline because it's not a big chatting point, but he is a talking point tonight. Right on the Raya deal for say 27 points. Yeah, isn't bad. I think it's a brilliant deal. If I'm honest, for Raya. I think Turner is 15 million in my opinion, but I guess we're handicapped by this market value policy. Yes, as everyone knows, I talk about this market value policy that I talk about in the Gunslingers, and it is what all clubs use. Like the Hoyland one, his market value was pretty much what Man U have paid. I don't agree with it. I don't write the numbers. It's not my algorithm or anything like that.
I was going to ask, what is the algorithm of that to make someone like that price?
I honestly don't know. I've always said I don't agree with it, but that's how I know how much someone will go for or how much I expect someone to pay for him, because I know I just go into the thing and I look at the market values and I go, okay, well, this is how much he's worth. So I kind of work out how much we should be paying. So for Raya, I think it's a good deal. For Balogun, I do kind of expect around 40 max because that's the market value. I think for Eddie, we'll probably accept a little bit less if an offer comes in, because without being mean to him, he's not been great lately. And Balogun had a great season last season. I was trying to be as nice as I can be. I was trying to be nice. Look, he's all right. He's all right, but he doesn't tantalize my taste buds.
You're sounding worse now. You're sounding stop.
Now that Ramsdale is being given competition, how about Gabby Jesus is not being given competition? Ivan Toney said Edwin Indwa. Thank you very much. Ivan Toney's not going to be available till January. So that's literally no good for us right now, because obviously Jesus is out for probably 5 to 6 weeks, maybe longer. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, Leno was okay. Tony pushed him and wilted like a leaf. Leno was a good goalkeeper, which is why he was like German international as well. Just saying, but he just wasn't good with his feet. That's all it was. Bad with his feet. We need a Fox striker, says Blessing Solomon. Big up to you. PX is going there with that person. No offense, BX. I just don't say his name on stream. I've banned Moss from saying it, so I'm definitely not saying it. Santi Jimenez. That's the guy from. Where's he from? Benfica? Can't remember. Where's he from? I can't think where it is now.
Yeah,
Tyler Adams, 30 million release clause, Bargev. Chelsea thinking about it, if no, Caicedo. Well, we'll see about what happens with Caicedo. We scored 88 goals last season. Jesus was missing for months. It was the defence which was an issue, says Tony. Totally agree, but we still need a striker. Still need a striker, proper striker. Great shows. Big up. Think we need Kudu, and I'm happy for the Raya signing. Come on, you Gunners for life. Big up to Boss Bubbler. Love your name. Lord Bentner. Oh, crikey. No, not happening. Not even going to talk about it. As soon as you say his name, that guy just gets deleted from my memory bank. They need to go by Luke valuations. Unfortunately, they can't. They use this. It's how everything is worked out. It's why people celebrate when a squad value is a certain amount. This is the market values that they go with. So it's mad. 20 to 25 for Eddie, says BX. BX said it, not me. Just saying it's not an agenda from me. Do we really need that out-and-out striker, though? We scored 88 goals, so Tony's saying the same thing here. I would spend the 20 million on Taremi. I think that is worth a risk. 20 million on Taremi. He bangs goals in for fun. Would you take Taremi, the guy from FC Porto, the Iranian?
Oh, that would be a risk, wouldn't it? It would certainly be a different approach to the way we play. And I think, judging by Sunday, I don't think we will make take a chance on him, because I think Arteta will probably feel that Havertz could do that.
Yeah. Cool, be back. Oh, crikey. I'll be crying if that happens, I tell you. Santi plays for
hero here for this call on your talk, I tell you.
Yeah. Santi plays for Feyenoord. Thank you very much, BX. Thank you. Don't read, don't learn.
You know who I'd rather have? I'd rather have what's his name? Xavi from PSV. That's
okay. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's move on to the next storyline. Arsenal are planning one more big signing. Now, when I say big, I don't mean just like little ones. Like if we were sold, we could go and get Satalo. That's a small signing in my eyes. Big signing, big player, big name. Tickle everyone's taste buds. And this is why. Arsenal offer for Ansu Fati was turned down. This is confirmed. I can tell you this has happened. Ansu Fati did turn us down. Barcelona did turn us down. However, this could still happen because Barcelona got a lot of issues and they know what's coming in. I think it's October. I think the case is. So they're going to have to sell. So would Ansu Fati tickle your taste buds, Canners?
It would. However, the only thing I'm getting a little bit of a drawback from this transfer is the fact that the rumours are that the clubs were willing to do the deal, but the player won't. And that's one thing I'm not kind of that doesn't endear me to the player. I'm just like, from there on, if you turn down Arsenal, the way I like to see it is that Arsenal only come knocking once, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the only thing what kind of soured it a little bit. He has got a bit of an injury record, but listen, the kid is dynamite. So this would tick the boxes for me.
Yeah.
If all parties were agreed.
Yeah. Bargev saying he's staying if Dembele goes. Dembele is a set fee. Barcelona need way more money than that. I think they'll only get 50 million for Dembele. They need way more than 50 million to sort out their issues. Trust me, they need about 100 plus. So they're going to have to work out what they're going to do and who they're going to let go for that. I personally think.
Sorry.
No, you carry on, Chris.
So I was just going to ask, what was the market value for Ansu Fati?
I'll let you carry on talking whilst I
okay.
look because
Ansu Fati. No, I think. Listen, I think if there's always rumours flying around with players not wanting to move, etc., etc. I think if there is any truth on him not wanting to come, I don't want him. But if that was all kind of like loads of codswallop or whatever, and it was just the the club's not agreeing a fee, and he is open to a move to Arsenal, I'd love to have him at the club. I think he's a great prospect, and he's what, 20. So he fit right into our project.
He's 20. My concern is that he's right-footed, which would suggest that he would be playing on the left, not the right, which doesn't make sense to me at all. But his market value is 31 million. So to get him, you'd have to pay around 39 million, probably a little bit more as well because of his age, 20. So I'd say 45 to 50 for Anzu. Not for me. Doesn't tickle my taste buds. Rafinha does. I'll be honest with Rafinha. If Rafinha came available, I'd want him.
Would you want us though?
At the end of the day, someone at Barcelona is going to have to leave, and they're going to have to cope with it because no one wants to leave Barcelona. And I'm a Barca fan, so I can understand why you'd never want to leave Barca. But if the Barcelona bigwigs say we have to have your money, you've got to go, they'll have to go. Okay, then, because they need to save the club. This is not like a little bit of an issue. This is a massive issue at Barcelona. We've known about it for years. Now it's starting to come hurtling to an end issue now, because there's a court case in October, November time, which they're going to get a punishment in that court case as well. So that's more of a fine, more of an issue. So yeah, it's not looking good at Barca too. So look, this is why I've said Frankie de Jong is a possibility of he might be leaving as well, because obviously he's got a good value. Gavi, I don't think will ever leave for obvious reasons, not only who his partner is as well. But yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Ansu Fati. No way this kid is always injured long term, says BX. Fati's another Vieira, says Tony. No, not Patrick or Fabio. His last name is actually Vieira. If Fati said no, don't go there, says Tony Fulbrook. No chance Fati goes. Xavi won't sanction it. I will say something because I live by a club where at the end of the day, a coach doesn't really have much say. Lopetegui has pretty much walked out of Wolves because at the end of the day, it's the bigwigs that have the power, not the manager, unfortunately. I'm still getting Ferran Torres, says Tony. That doesn't surprise me. Moss is updating on the Barca score, but because it's Tottenham, I don't care. No offense, Moss, but it's Tottenham. Rafinha would be like another Alexis Sanchez, similar path to both come to Arsenal after failed and Barca moves. I'd still prefer...
Sanchez didn't fail at Barcelona, in my opinion.
No, he didn't. To be honest, I don't think he's failed anywhere apart from United, which just makes me laugh. Sorry, it does. I hated that move. That was the most disgusting move I've ever seen as an Arsenal fan. It was horrible. Rafinha didn't want us, but Barca more. Exactly. I don't want another addition now until we sell the players. We have about 5 to 7 that need to leave, says James. Big up to James. That's pretty much what's happening now. It is all about sales. I expect, because we're in the final 4 weeks of the window now, there's going to be a lot happening. A lot. I know of deals that have already been confirmed. They just haven't gone in the media yet. Lots of things are happening. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. He didn't foul per se, just didn't lock down a spot. It's very hard to lock down a spot at Barca, to be fair. There are a lot of first-team squad players that have a lot to prove this season. Otherwise, they will have to be moved on as well, says James. Right, let's move on to the next story. Mbappe, loan move. Not in a million years. I don't know why this keeps coming out. Look, all I know about Mbappe is he's not going to play for PSG. That's not going to happen. So, Real Madrid, obviously the team that he wants to go to. So, the only way Real Madrid can afford him is by selling people. And this is where Canners starts to panic, because Real Madrid would have to sign players of a good value. Obviously, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde are the 3 players that are most likely to leave. So, where would they go? Who knows? But look, Mbappe to Arsenal is never going to happen. Just not. Can I see him being loaned to a club for one season? It makes no sense. Makes no sense for anybody.
It'd be about 60 odd million, wouldn't it? Or something
It would be,
like that.
The loan fee alone would be mental. And then the actual wages, because PSG aren't going to say, "Oh, we'll pay his wages whilst you have him for free, on loan." That's not going to happen. And these wages are ridiculous. So yeah, it's mad. If it happens at the end of the window, we're not getting the windfall. I don't know what that's.
Yeah, well, it can't. I mean, the thing is, something has to happen from the Real Madrid side first for it to obviously to kick that into motion. So no matter what, there has to be a sale at Real Madrid for them to be able to fund the Mbappe deal. I'm really surprised actually that they actually would entertain the deals for Camavinga, because I pretty much thought that he became a star player for them towards the end of the season, and Valverde as well. So I'm really surprised with that. But hey, listen, it totally depends how much how badly they want Mbappe.
Exactly.
It seems like they want him pretty badly.
But Luke is spot on here. I can't believe Real Madrid are going to go with Joselu as their starting centre forward. 100%. That kind of signing suggests that they're obviously planning something in the background, because Joselu is 33 years old, cost them pretty much nothing as well. It doesn't ring true as a Real Madrid striker, does it? It kind of rings as a backup striker to someone. Mbappe. Rumours are, yes, to be honest, Tony, I have heard about this, and to be honest, I'm fed up of talking about it because it's annoying me now. I know it's Arsenal news, but this situation just bugs me. Pepe just needs to go, but there's a lot of talk saying Arsenal don't want to just terminate his contract. But why not? He's not going to play for us. We're not going to get a fee because Besiktas couldn't afford the fee and his wages. Just wouldn't be able to happen. So yeah, it will happen at some point, and I'm hoping it's announced quickly because I just want red. If I'm honest, we need the wages off our bill as well.
Wouldn't we have to give him some kind of loyalty bonus if we were to sell him, because obviously he hasn't asked for a transfer, so and that will pretty much negate the whole transfer fee anyway, if you know what I mean. But I guess if we terminate his contract, then he just goes basically, and everyone's a winner, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I would want. I'd want it just to be terminated. No loyalty bonus, none of this rubbish. He shouldn't be getting any money from us anymore. And that's not. He hasn't done anything wrong. Don't get me wrong about that. He's done nothing wrong at Arsenal, but he's never going to play for us. He doesn't fit our system. He doesn't work back. He doesn't work as a team player. Go and enjoy Turkey. Go and enjoy that kind of football.
His father kind of said that he hasn't got the appetite or the hunger. If your own father's saying that, then come on, man. The writing's on the wall, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And what Arteta demands is that you work your proverbials off basically for the team.
Yeah. I don't want Mbappe, nor would we get him, says Tony. I don't think any English club will get him, including City. I just don't think anyone will. Do we really need issues? Mbappe would cause no thanks. I agree. I'm surprised they've kept Modric and Kroos this long. Totally agree again. Mbappe is worse than a cracked out diva, but worldly talent. Maybe Pepe wants to get paid to leave and we're refusing to agree that. No, that's not the case. We want something. That's what we want. We want something out of it, but I just don't think we're going to get anything. And I think at the end of the day, we just need to cut our losses quickly so we can get him off the wage bill, because then we've got that money for someone else. That's what it's all about now, making space for someone else to come in. Right, let's move on to Balogun. It's not just Monaco now. We're waiting for West Ham. West Ham supposedly are going to make a bid.
Give us some of that 100 mil back.
Yeah, because Antonio wants to leave West Ham. So there's a knock-on. There's another domino effect happening again. Now, this is a domino effect because Mbolo, who got injured at Monaco, he's out for quite a few months, which is why they're trying to get Balogun. And then West Ham, they've got an issue with Antonio because he doesn't want to stay there. He wants to go to Celtic or some other club. Can't remember the other club now. So West Ham are considering a bid as well. It's a lot of knock-on effects at the moment. It's a crazy window. Like I said, the window is so fluid. From what happens at 7:38 p.m. tonight will be totally different by 7:38 tomorrow. I guarantee it. Nothing will be the same.
100% agree from Tony there. Albeit Stunner, sorry.
Yeah, if you're not happy and appreciative to play for the Arsenal, then get gone. 100%. 50 million from West Ham to be paid within a week, says Paul Rickett. Yes, exactly. Look, I know that when West Ham come bidding for one of our players, Arsenal do have a plan for them, and the West Ham aren't going to enjoy it. So, yeah, let's just wait and see what happens, because I'm looking forward to seeing that situation unfold.
Klarna payments.
Bobby, not West Ham. We want to sell Balogun this window. Look, I do get it. But look, I just want the money for Balogun, because then we can use that money elsewhere. That's what's important now. Balogun is probably our most valuable asset to sell. Let's move on to Tavares. Tavares has been finally linked with moves, thankfully. Now it's Wolfsburg and Werder Bremen. Wolfsburg are the club that have just sold Van der Ven to Tottenham. So they've got the money now to actually bid on Tavares. Now, I think Arsenal want £13 million, which is okay. I'll happily deal with that. Tavares, 13 million. Yes, Canners, happy with that?
Yeah, he's not going to play, is he? You know, it's pretty much double what we paid for him, is it? I think.
Yeah, we paid about 6.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So, decent enough player, really. In a market, if he was a first 11 for us, he'd probably go for a lot more. But such is life, and the fact that he is surplus to requirements, the 30 million is probably how much we'd probably stretch to. What teams would stretch to for him. So I think he had a good season, didn't he, at Marseille? So you know what? Hopefully we can get a good price for him. If we do get a 13 mil for him, I think it'll be, again, it's my tag phrase here, everyone's a winner.
Exactly. Ship him out, get the pounds ASAP, says BX Scudder. Exactly. Where are all the attitude issues coming from, says Bargain. I'm guessing this is Balogun. It's him. You know, there's confidence, and then there's confidence with arrogance. That's where the attitude problems come in with. He's done some stupid posts recently, and yeah, it's ridiculous. So that's the issue with Balogun. I'm going to star your one, Tony, because I want to come back to that in a minute, mate. Welcome to the Arsenal from Kulabako, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. I'd snap your hand off for 13 million for Tavares, 20 at least Champions League start last year. That's kind of more what I would like, but to be honest, I just want Tavares out the door.
I think the fact that he's not a starter for us or anywhere near, we're not going to get that kind of money for him, and clubs know that.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to the Fenerbahce talk with Jorginho. This came up a few days ago. I don't believe it, if I'm honest. I don't think it will happen. Look, I still think that Partey, if someone came in for Thomas Partey for the right money, we'd accept it. And to be honest, I think Arsenal probably have a price on Jorginho as well. If there's a price that Arsenal will accept for him and it's offered, I think they would accept it, because, you know, they're both, Partey's 30, Jorginho's 31, I think. Is that right?
I think yeah.
They are the age of, you just sell them. You sell them if the money was right. Same with El Neni. And I will say this, El Neni would be sold if the right money comes in for El Neni.
Yeah.
Because they're at the age where Arsenal know their value is only going to drop now. So you get the best money you can for them, because we are a self-sustaining club. We're not, I'm going to put this very nicely, we're not a Newcastle, because I'm not going to mention the other club. We're not a Newcastle. We haven't got loads of money. So, yeah. Would you, if the money was right for Arsenal, would you sell Jorginho?
Yeah. I actually think there's some truth in this. Simply going back to a couple of stories ago where you mentioned the whole Real Madrid thing, and possibly as well Mohamed Kudus or whoever. And I know Caicedo as well. It could well be an option. And I think Jorginho probably knows that there could be one big player coming in, and where does that leave him? So I think maybe that there might have been an element of truth in the fact that he thought, you know what, let me go and actually start playing. And I think it was said there was Fenerbahce, they're in the Champions League.
Exactly.
And it's quite a decent league now, the Turkish league. So it wouldn't be such a bad move for him personally. So and for us also as well, if we were to get another midfielder. If we don't, I wouldn't sanction him leaving.
Yeah, I agree. Fatty would be a great signing, but he has had too many injuries issues. We're already having that with Jesus, so that might not be a wise signing. Coming your Gunners for life. Moss saying Nuno, great athletes, and some coach club just need to work him and get him understand defending. Yes, that is his biggest issue, being a left back. He cannot defend, despite what people say about his defending. Look, he's a great winger. I think he's a great left winger because that's when I've seen him play, he looks amazing as a left winger. The way that he just dribbles and gets past players is incredible.
Powerful. Yeah.
But his defensive work is rubbish. So yeah, I would sell him as a left winger if I'm honest, because you get more money for him as well. Because you get less when you get further back in defence. You can pay more for strikers, then midfielders a little bit less, then defenders a little bit more less than that, and then goalkeepers you get pittance. So that's how it works in the pyramid of football prices.
You're right.
That's football. We get more for Holding, Tavares. You know what, Tony? I've still not heard a single proper link with Holding at all. If Holding goes, I think a centre back comes in. So that's what I think will happen. We've lost Trusty, but that Trusty wasn't a squad player last season anyway. Bargav, I like my strikers to have big attitudes and confidence, a la Zlatan. Oh no, I could never have had Ibrahimovic at our club. That would have done my head in. I can't let both Party and Georgie leave. Sorry. PSV goal. There must be some the Champions League is there tonight or something. If we go by the South Korean age logic, just shave off a year. Every player has his price. They do. Every single player. Is EFL on the live score really the Carabao Cup they're showing on the zone? I know Carabao Cup is happening tonight. So yeah, that's all I know. I don't know anything about the zone. Arsenal won't get rid of him this season. I'm guessing that's something about Jorginho. Look, I honestly do think if the right money comes in for Jorginho or Party, then someone will leave because Arsenal have got a backup plan. It's not like we haven't got a backup plan. We have got one. Jorginho gives us experience, quality, and depth. If we got offered 20 million for Jorginho, we'd have to accept that. Tony says, no, I can't. Saliba 200 million, Saka 200 million, Pepe a pound. Yeah, pretty much. Not all silver. Okay. 30 million, Luke, maybe for Jorginho. Right. Okay. Right. Let's try and wrap up some of this because I do want Canners to get off on time. Marquinhos loan to Nantes. This one is nearly done. There is possibly an obligation to buy as well in this. I believe it's about £12 million with a buyback clause of £22 million. Not 100% sure if they are going to be put into the contract as of yet, but it is an option and we'll have to wait and see the paperwork before I can confirm that. But Marquinhos to Nantes, happy with that?
I think it makes sense, really. Get him good, some experience in the top league. Hopefully, then he does a Balogun, but comes back with better attitude, really. And if there is an obligation in there, fair enough. But be wise enough to make sure that we've got some buyback clauses in there. I'll be happy with that. As long as because I can, you never know. He could explode out there. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we just want to cover our bases.
We've seen, for me, I've seen enough to say there's talent there.
Yeah.
So it is one of those, you go, okay, loan him out. Even if it is sell him, fine. Buyback clause, yes, 100%. Because you never know. And look, we've had so many of these players that have gone and left us and absolutely smashed it. Marlon, who is now at Dortmund, obviously one of ours. Musa, who has just signed for AC Milan. one of
Oh
ours,
wow,
smashed
big
it.
kid at Valencia. Yeah,
Yeah, there's been so many that I wish we had buyback clauses in them, because we've let some amazing talent go.
Andy
But at
Cole.
least we're being sensible now. That's what I like.
Yeah, no,
Big
no, no,
move.
absolutely. I think maybe even do that for Balogun.
Yeah,
I'm not sure though we would get that kind of price or money for him though if there was
yeah.
some kind of buyback clause in there. So
Good move says from Makina, says Tony Fulbrook. Emery would have played and coached him. Yeah,
talk about
true.
Tavares.
Yeah, I think so. Holt, okay, he's talking about Carabao. Now Arsenal is acting as a big club again. That's wonderful. Having two best goalies in the world is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very good to have two quality goalkeepers at a club. Like I said, I can't remember ever having that. I won't agree with Manninger being top class. I just won't.
I was clutching. I was
Yeah,
seriously
that is
clutching
definitely a
it.
clutch for me. But oh yes, Moss has also said Nabry as well is another one that we should have done. If
Oh
we
god,
had
yeah.
that 12 million obligation to buy with a 22 buck buy, that would be a great business by us, 100%, because it's just an extra 10 million pounds we'd have to pay. It's perfect for me. And look, if it doesn't work out for him, then we don't need to do it, do we? We don't need to buy him. So
Yeah.
it works out for everybody. Let's move on to pay the price for Tierney. It is not rocket science. Look, lots of clubs want Tierney. West Ham are one of them. Real Sociedad are another club that want him. It is very simple. You want him, you pay the price. Simple.
Exactly.
Look, it's quite clear that Arsenal don't want him. Let's be honest. Because did he play on the Community Shield when Zinchenko's out? No. Who did? Timber. So he's technically third choice left back.
I'd even put Kivior before him as well now.
Yeah.
Well, Arteta would. Not saying that I would, but I think Arteta would.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a poll that Tony did on the Twitter. So he put it to the Armoury TV Twitter followers. Would you keep Kieran Tierney at Arsenal this season? 192 votes. 74% said yes for Kieran Tierney. I get it. I don't want him to leave. But at the end of the day, I also think of the player, and I wouldn't want him being third choice left back, because
that would be horrible, wouldn't it?
At some point, he's going to fall out of favour of Scotland as well, because Steve Clarke's not going to want to choose him if he's not playing football. Yes, he probably is one of the best Scottish left backs, but there's what's its name, Doig, who's coming up. He's up and coming at Scotland, so it's Robertson and Doig, and then Tierney loses his place at Scotland. And I'm part Scottish, so for me, I got to do what's best by KT. So Luke would be saying I would be open to loaning Tierney out to Sociedad. It's risky though, because if he can't stay fit being a starter, we could lose value on him. I would just sell him. None of this loan rubbish. I don't see the point in loaning him. Because you've literally just said it there. If he does get an injury and he's not a starter, he then loses value. So we're just losing out on him. Get his price now, even if it's 25, 30 million. Just get the money and move on. And I love him. I absolutely adore him. I was very happy. I can't stand Celtic, but I was very excited to sign him. I'm always, look, I love how Celtic play, and I can't stand watching them, as in I can't stand the club, but I love watching them play. They play brilliant football. But it's going to be like Tottenham. I can't stand Tottenham, but I guarantee under Ange, that is going to be beautiful football to watch, because I'm just going to say his Ange because I can never say his surname. They play amazing football under him. So, yeah. Canners, KT, yes or no to selling him?
I'm conflicted on this one simply because, we all love him, don't we? However, I think, I'm not saying that he was at fault for the goal, but he didn't cover himself in glory in the Man City goal in the Community Shield, in my opinion. I know it was a time and he just come on, etc. But I know Roy Keane was quite critical with defending, because he encouraged the young lad to come in on his left foot. But listen, I think we've gone beyond Kieran Tierney, and as I said, he's probably third choice. Maybe even fourth choice, and that's harsh.
I know, like saying no one pay a decent fee for Tierney. What can we
We
do?
keep him. I think we just keep. I mean, I think he's still. You never know. Obviously, touch wood and hope it doesn't happen. But we might have some kind of injury crisis, whatever. Where you might need to be. We might say, "Oh, if we had Tierney, then blah blah blah." But I think we should, stick to our guns really and get the fee that we want.
Yeah, because he's contracted for another 3 years. £110,000 he gets paid. For me, it's tough because you take a risk with keeping him. And like you're saying, keeping him in third choice, but then what are you doing with Lino Sousa? Because you're then holding him back. Because technically he should be third choice. And I know it's me and my youth policy and all this stuff, but I think Lino is good enough to be a third choice. I think he's good enough to come in for the Carabao because he's good. And Arsenal, and he can also do the inverted rubbish, which I don't agree with, but he can do it. So look,
I think. What if we don't get the fee? Obviously, we have, as a club, we have a fee in mind that we want, and if we're not getting that, should we not hold on to that, or should we accept less?
Yeah, true. But look, what I've heard is West Ham again. Sorry, West Ham fans, but you're being linked with him again because he's meant to be the replacement for Cresswell. And what I would say, Luke, is right. If I would agree with the loan, if it comes with an obligation or an option to buy him for a set fee, if it's 20 million, we get a 5 million fee for the loan, I'd do it. I'd honestly do it, especially if it's an option to buy, because it's not necessarily down to West Ham because it's an option, because also the selling club then also has to agree with it as well. So that's what I would do right now. I think West Ham, they've got the money quite clearly to do it, so I can see it happening. It's not what we think is a decent price. It's exactly. I'll quickly tell you what his market value is because that will help you, and then I'm going to let.
I think it'd be very interesting for that because.
See, his market value is 20.7 million.
Oh, I think I went there, didn't I?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So Tierney's market value is 20.7. So the maximum we should be asking for is about 25 by market value price. So like 5 million loan fee for the season, obligation or option to buy for 20 million next summer. I'd do that. I'd be happy. Canners, what about you?
No, I'm in agreement. To be fair, I think you've got to look at the whole and the bigger picture, really, in the sense that in terms of the wages as well, which you spelled out how much he gets as well. I think if we get that plus a loan fee, get the wages off our books and plus a loan fee, then I think that would be a good bit of business by the Arsenal and an option, as you say. Not mandated, but I think he would actually thrive at West Ham, to be fair.
Yeah, he would, because he does remind me very much of Cresswell, and that's the way.
He's better than Cresswell. He'd offer West Ham a lot more than Cresswell. Fair enough. I know Cresswell has dead ball situations, but
we need to bring youth through, Bobby. That's our way. Yes, it is exactly, and I can't have Tierney as the third choice. Lino needs to be third choice. There is other players at Arsenal that are very good left backs as well. So, I can't hold back our youth. I just can't. It doesn't sit right with me. Might be right, Jose. I want 50 for Ballo or play the dude. Never going to get 50 for Ballo. I guarantee you won't get 50 for Ballo. We might get close to 45 with add-ons, but that's about it. Luke's market value, I love your market value, is 40 million to European clubs, 50 million to Premier League and Saudi clubs.
I'd say 60 to Saudi clubs.
We need to look at what we could pay for players in transfers. 100%. Tony, not half Fullbrook rocks. Katie will not go Saudi League. He'd be training and playing Starkers. Yes, true. Because I'm pretty sure Kenneth is probably thinking of a conversation that me and him have had. I couldn't go to Saudi Arabia to play football. I would. Me and Katie definitely are very similar in that. We just couldn't handle it in Saudi Arabia. Right. Before I carry on with the news, I do want to just let Canners go because I know Canners needs to leave at 8.
Yeah, apologies,
So,
guys.
no, it's all right, mate. Where can people find you, my friend?
You can find me on call it X now. Yeah, on at Canners 2204, and obviously here as a co-host really with Bobby on a Tuesday evening. I'm loving it actually. It's a nice little Tuesday regular. Also as well, we're looking to as the season starts get back the loose cannons with obviously a select few from the Armoury. Never know, but never know the topic until you know. So it could be anything. It could be anything. But yeah, absolutely. As the season starts, it's going to be everything and all that's relevant for the Arsenal. But yeah, apologies, guys. But yeah, I have to dip. But obviously, I will be back later on this week. If not, then definitely next Tuesday.
There you go. Thank you very much, Canners. I'm going to take him out, let him say bye-bye, see you later, and we'll speak to you very soon, mate. Take care, mate. All right,
Smash the carry on.
Exactly. Thank you very much. See you later, guys. Right, let's move on. Bobby, a little question. Were you getting a little bit stressed on Sunday? Yes, I was. It was a stressful game, that game, I have to be honest. That's true, Silver One. He's Scottish. Us selling to Saudi would be a crime against humanity. KT would burn. Dan Burn. Look, I can't see happening to Newcastle at the moment. They have to be very careful what they bring in to what they sell. So I can't see Newcastle at the moment happening. By Canna's my second favourite, but don't tell anyone. Exactly. Right, let's move on to the news again. We've still got some more to talk about. Zach Orr has officially signed for Southampton. So please keep an eye on that. He has moved into the under-21s at Southampton, so he won't be seen straight away at Southampton. However, I do believe he will work his way up very quickly in the team. So, yes, massive support to Zach Orr. He's one of my favourites. So, yeah, big up to him. He has officially signed for Southampton now. So, big up to you. Rival fans are funny as we win the Community Shield. Now, the reason I've put this the way I have is because all of a sudden, when we win the Community Shield, it's not a trophy. It's not a big trophy, but other clubs are allowed to celebrate their pre-season trophies, the Premier League series and all this kind of rubbish. Now, this is a Community Shield that has history that dates back to 1898. Now, for people that's going, oh, hang on, that's not right. It does actually date back to 1898. The actual official start of it was called the Sheriff's Cup. It was all to do with London clubs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's absolutely madness that because we. But the other detail is we beat City. We beat City. We went 1-0 down to City. We came back. We drew, and then we beat them on penalties. It's crazy. And yes, Moss, you're spot on. It is literally a Super Cup. It's literally a Super Cup, but just without the name. But this is what it is. It's a Super Cup. Munich are playing Leipzig on Friday. You have the Italian Super Cup. You have the Spanish one. It's technically a Super Cup without the name. But the reason it's called a Community Shield is because there's a lot to do with charity work and stuff like that, which I have no issues with it at all. So, yeah, absolute madness. Bobby, are we getting money for these players? I hope so. I hope we get money because to get the players that we want coming in, we need to get money. So a lot of people saying, oh, I don't want to sell him. We're never going to buy anyone if that's the way. Rivals are scared, Bobby. Simple as that. 100%. We got Bundesliga Super Brews. Let us know. Okay, he's talking about something different there. Evening Spuds. I think the Audi Cup is bigger. Tell Pep it didn't mean anything. Exactly. Audi Cup is literally nothing. It's nothing. Evening from sunny Stranraer, Scotland. Loving my sunbathing. I very much doubt it's sunny in Stranraer, but big up to Chris. I hope you're having a lovely time in Scotland. Right, I think this is the final slide. Gooners Down Under update, as you know. All right, update on how our Arsenal ladies are getting on down under. The last 16 has just taken place, and now it's all the games have not. Have they finished? Yeah, they have. They've all finished now. All the last 16 games have finished. Right. So Leah Walty and Ritz are now out. Their team lost 5-1 to Spain. Marnham is out. Her team lost to Japan. And Cool, Denmark lost to Australia 2-0. We've still got Palova playing for the Netherlands. Netherlands are playing Spain. Got 3 Swedish ladies. They are still in. They are playing Japan, and England are playing Colombia in the quarterfinals. So we still have 6 Arsenal women still representing Arsenal at the World Cup. And I'll be honest, Ilstedt looks absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So for people that want to get excited about Arsenal ladies when we start in October, please do, because Ilstedt is one heck of a signing. Absolutely incredible. I'm relaxed, to be honest, not scared of anything. Good for you, Chris. Stranraer, lovely Scotland day in Proclaim Sun, Sunshine and Leaf Summer, I think. Quarters now, Colombian Caicedo hype is real. True. Community Shield is in UEFA Super Cup Club World Cup category. It's not a big trophy, but it's a trophy. 100%, Chris. Don't knock that Audi Cup, Tony. Spurs are putting out a 10-episode documentary about it. Do you think James got off lightly in criticism of that coward stamp? She's apologised, which for me is the best that we can do, if I'm honest. So yeah, I think that she's come out and apologized. Do I think it was stupid? Yes. Do I think it was the heat of the moment? Yes. Yeah. So we'll move on from. We won't be seeing her at the World Cup. I think she gets 3-match suspension, so that's her World Cup ruled out now. So glad we got Ilstedt. Yeah, so am I. I can't wait to see her in an Arsenal kit, if I'm honest. Women's Super Brew, that will be happening. Good evening. Sorry for being late. Been having so much technical issues these days. Will anyone buy hiding, or should we have taken the 2.5 million and run? Yeah. Right now, I wish we had taken the money. It's mad. How many game suspensions did they say yet? 3-game match suspension. So yeah, she's going to miss the rest of the World Cup. No, it's actually hot in Stranraer. How is it hot in Stranraer? Madness. Arsenal need one more big sign. It needs to be a striker, says Chris. Well, we're going to get into the poll. We're going to see what everyone has voted for. There has been 59 votes, so big up to everyone that has voted. Let's see what the result was. Oh, it's close, you know. Right, so the result is striker 45%. Winger 42%, and then it's defender on 6 and midfielder on just 5. So yeah, it is striker dash winger for everybody. Absolute madness. I'm more of the winger with the ability to play as a striker. That's what I would do because then you got 2 covered. But if I could, I'd get Elise and I'd get Taremi for 55 million quid. That's what I would do. Right. Bobby Cannon's dream but realistic signing before window shuts. Go. Oh, that's hard. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's not easy, that one. Realistic. Kudu is the guy that I would want because he covers 2 positions comfortably, but not the striker. So I would get Kudu and I'd get Taremi. That's what I would do. I would do Kudu and Taremi. But yeah, midfielder Moss went. Wow, not many. Hit the likes, please. Thank you very much, Tony. Really appreciate that. Lavia maybe still. Kudu maybe so awesome to have. Yes, realistic would be Kudos and Taremi. Yeah, I'm with you, Luke. I'm spot on with you there because that's 60 million. I think we can do that. I think. And Tony's saying Kudu and Caicedo. Caicedo one, I think, is going to be wrapped up by Chelsea pretty soon. That's what I reckon. But guys, that is a wrap for today's episode. Obviously, I'll be back on Friday for Arsenal news. But on Thursday, I will be back for the Arsenal preview for the Nottingham Forest game. And tomorrow on FTSN, which is the other channel I work for, I will be doing the first Premier League preview. So week 1 preview. Linda Caicedo to Arsenal, big hype. I can't see us getting anyone else in, if I'm honest, apart from a goalkeeper. Jonas, goalkeeper. We need one. But yeah, I can't see us getting anyone else at the moment. We need some people to leave, if I'm honest, at Arsenal women. But yeah, guys, been an absolute pleasure. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Great show. Thank you very much, Tony. Really appreciate it. She off to Real Madrid, Linda. That probably makes sense. Yeah, Real Madrid, Barcelona kind of makes sense, if I'm honest. Guys, take care. Speak to you all very soon. And see you very soon. Come on, you Gunners. Bye-bye.